I will ascend to heaven and elevate my throne. Part 2.
It says in Isaiah 14:13, "You who said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven. In the heights, I will lift my throne alongside the stars of God, and I will sit on the mountain of the testimony on the north side." The north symbolizes opposition to or going against everything that God represents. That is why in Matthew 12:42, it says that Christ is the Queen of the South, who would rise in judgment against this evil generation and condemn it. For she came from the ends of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon, who is a figure of the one who deceived her, pretending to be God, because she was searching for the one who loves her soul. And behold, more than Solomon is in this place, because she herself is the Christ. Today, with the Antichrist of the world, we can see the same thing that happened with the predecessor of this Antichrist happening. All of his followers are completely devoted to him and will do anything for him. They even go to extreme measures to show their loyalty to him. Now that we have been enlightened by the true Christ, our celestial mother, MelquisedecLisbet, seeing these people behave in such a childish and shameless way is horrifying and sad. And to think that we also did ridiculous things in the past for an arrogant and false man, just as they are doing with Donald Trump, who openly insults people to their face and lies to them with promises that he will never fulfill. However, these people think it is wonderful how he talks. Doesn't this sound familiar? This current Antichrist is followed by many aggressive people who love to fight and carry firearms to use against anyone who opposes their golden calf, Donald Trump. MelquisedecLisbet has hope that her holy angels can discern this well and not fall into the trap of the Antichrist of the world, because you have already gone through the deception of the first Antichrist. And even though the followers of this one cannot perceive the monster that he is and cannot see him on the surface, MelquisedecLisbet had already seen since the year 2010 that the mission of this Antichrist is the same work of Satan, the previous Antichrist, whose objective is to rise to the highest and sit in the throne, which is where God builds his holy temple through his Christ. It says that in the signs before the end, which is the ending of the enemy of the cross of Christ, false Christs and false prophets will arise who will perform extraordinary miracles of lies, with which they will try to deceive, even if it were possible, God's saints and chosen ones. That is why our Heavenly Mother, MelquisedecLisbet, relies on us, that just like her, we are capable of seeing that we are living prophetic days, since she has been engraving her mind in our hearts, which are God's laws in our minds, so that we can judge as MelquisedecLisbet does, and not as mortal men do. Because they cannot perceive nor see the enemy coming, since they do not have God's armament, nor the holy name of God the Father and of his Christ, written on their foreheads, which is a figure of their minds. God the Father and Mother, MelquisedecLisbet, are here to save man, cleansing the land in their minds so they can live and stop dying. God will not allow another Antichrist to govern in the minds of their people or continue destroying the world. The Lord is already present and is helping his people and all who come to her to conquer the last enemy, which is death, as MelquisedecLisbet does. Amen.